Hello students, welcome to Sri Vidya Bharati Metric Higher Secondary School, Namakkal. Today in plus 2 English, we are going to see the transformation of sentences. Already the transformation of sentences we have seen in the part 1, part 2, the rules and the usage, and today we are going to see the book back exercises. Okay. So let's get into the video. So before going to that book back examples, just recollect what is simple sentence and what is complex and what is compound sentences, which you have discussed in the last and previous classes. So what is simple sentences? A simple sentence should have one phrase and one main clause. And complex sentence should have one subordinate clause and one main clause, and compound sentence we should have two main clauses and coordinating conjunctions or correlative conjunctions. Okay. And what is phrase? Phrase doesn't give a proper meaning, whereas clause gives a proper meaning. So clause is nothing but the clause consists, the main clause consists subject, verb and then object. So that is main clause. Okay. So let's step into the book back exercises. Okay. Here, see the exercise is entirely different. So here they ask us to, this is simple sentences, they ask us to pick out the finite verb. So this type they won't ask in public examination, but just they want to check us whether we are identifying the finite verb or not. Okay, let's get into that. You can solve this problem in different ways. We can solve this problem in different ways. So which one is finite verb here? Solve. The professor has been working on the last chapter of the book since March. So again, has been working. Finite verb. Despite being a celebrity, Ravi mingles easily with everyone. So here, mingles is the finite verb. And then you must speak clearly to make yourself understood. So speak means what here? Finite verb. And then the chairman being away, the clerk is unable to approve the proposal. The chairman being away, the clerk is unable to approve the proposal. So here is related to the finite verb. And then getting down from the car, the chief guest walked towards the dais amid applause. So walked is the main verb. And then the old man struggled to walk without support. So the old man struggled. So struggle is a finite verb over here. And then in case of emergency, please contact this number. So contact is a finite verb. Okay, the sun having set, comma, the temperature fell rapidly. So here, fell is a finite verb. And then, but for. So what do you mean but for? I told you no. So but for is nothing but without. So without your help, I could not have completed the assignment. So completed is a finite verb. Got it? Okay. And now, so here they have given the passage. So from this passage we have to identify the simple sentences. Okay. So sunflowers turn according to the position of the sun. Okay. In other words, they chase the light. Sunflowers turn to each other to share their energy. So these are all the simple sentences which we have taken from the passage. Okay. And now here they have asked us to, so see, look at the following complex sentences, circle the main clause and underline the subordinate clause. I told you, which is main clause? A main clause should have subject, verb and then object. Okay. And subordinate clause, what is the formula for subordinate clause? I told you, So subordinate clause means we should have one subject, one subordinate clause, subordinate conjunction plus subject plus sequence. So see, in all sentence we have the same formula. One subordinate conjunction, one subject and the sequence. Okay. So see, nobody knows when the power supply will resume. So nobody knows So main clause. Okay. And then when subordinate conjunction, the par subject sequence the part supply will resume. So sequence. Okay. The part supply is the subject and will resume is the sequence. And then please tell me what the time is. Please tell me main clause, what the time is subordinate clause. Okay. The man who directed the film was my schoolmate. The man, main clause, who directed the film, subordinate clause, and again was my schoolmate, main clause. Okay. And then I believe that all men are basically good. I believe, main clause, that all men are basically good. So note it down. So here in A, the subordinate conjunction is when, and B, the subordinate conjunction is what, and C, the subordinate conjunction is who, and D, the subordinate conjunction is that, and again E, the subordinate conjunction when. So as I said, a subordinate clause should have one subordinate conjunction, one subject, and one sequence. So this will be very, very easy to understand. Okay, and see here. No one knows, main clause, when she will return, subordinate clause. Pick out the complex sentences in the following passage. A man saw a lion in the bush as he was walking through the forest. So just note it down, as. So where we use as in the complex sentences, isn't it or not? In the complex sentences, the subordinate conjunction as. So a man saw a lion in the bush as he was walking through the forest. Then next, he did not know what to do. He was helpless. He was too scared to turn around and run. So two factor is there. Okay, and then he did not know what to do. So simple sentence. And see, he just knelt down as if. So again complex sentences, as if. So I told you, so subordinate conjunction, the coordinate conjunction, the name is fanboys, and the subordinate conjunction, the name is Abhi loves stove. Okay, so he just knelt down as if he were getting ready to pray, and then he closed his eyes, thinking that the lion would pounce on him anytime. So that is a subordinate conjunction. Shocked, he asked the lion what it was doing. Okay, and then the lion replied that he was praying before he started his meal. Again, complex sentence. So see, I have underlined as if, that, what, that. So subordinate clause. Okay, the subordinate one main clause and then one subordinate clause, isn't it or not? So how we can divide? See, a man, subject, saw, verb, what he saw, lion in the bush. So subject, verb, and then object. So it consists main clause. And then whereas subordinate clause should have subordinate conjunction, subject, and then sequence. So subordinate conjunction is as. Subject is he. Was walking through the forest. What? Yes, is the sequence of the sentences. So one subordinate clause and then one main clause should have complex sentences. And then see, he just knelt down. He, subject, knelt, okay, down. That means verb and object is there. And then here, as if he were getting ready to pray. So as if is a subordinate conjunction. Okay, subject is he, were getting ready to pray. That means what? It's a sequence of the sequence in the sentence. And then he closed his eyes, thinking that the lion would pounce on him anytime. So he, subject, closed, verb, his eyes, object. So main clause. Again, subordinate clause means what? Subordinate conjunction, that. And subject, the lion, and then would pounce on him anytime means what? The sequence of this sentence. And then shocked, he asked the lion what it was doing. That means what? Shocked, he asked the lion. Okay, so here, shocked, he asked the lion what it was doing. Shocked, he asked the lion. So one main clause and one subordinate clause. Subordinate conjunction, subject, and then sequence. Okay, then last, the lion replied. The lion replied that he was praying before he started his meal. Okay, so that is a subordinate conjunction. He, subject, was praying before he started his meal means what? Sequence. Got it? And then let's come to the compound sentences. A compound sentences should have two main clauses and one coordinate conjunction or correlative conjunction. It started raining suddenly and people ran for shelter. So see the sentence properly. It started raining suddenly. Main clause. People ran for shelter. Again main clause. And under is a coordinating conjunction which link together. Okay. So here two main clauses there, and the role of the coordinating conjunction is to link the two main clauses. Okay, and then understand the concept well, otherwise you cannot solve the problem. So understand the concept well is a main clause, and you cannot solve the problem is a main clause, and otherwise is considered here as coordinating conjunction. Okay, and then the third sentence. 50 candidates appeared for the interview, but only 5 were selected. So 50 candidates appeared for the interview, main clause. Only 5 were selected, main clause, and but is a coordinating conjunction. Okay. Ramesh did not know Spanish, so he wanted a translator. Okay. So Ramesh did not know Spanish, main clause. He wanted a translator, again main clause. So it's considered as a coordinating conjunction. He is a good actor, still he is not popular. So he is a good actor, main clause. He is not popular, main clause. Still coordinating conjunction. Okay. Then pick out the compound sentences in the following passage. The food we eat has to be digested and then thrown out of the body. The air we breathe in has to be thrown out to help us survive. But we hold negative emotions like insecurity, anger, jealousy within ourselves for years. If these negative emotions are not eliminated, the mind grows corrupt and diseased. Let us do away with hatred and lead a healthy life filled with peace and joy. Okay, so here, so see, the food we eat has to be digested and then thrown out of the body. So here we have two main clauses and one subordinate clause. Is it or not? Then let us do away with hatred and lead a healthy life filled with peace and joy. Again coordinating conjunction. And then complete the sentences choosing the right endings. We were thoroughly disappointed since our team did not get a prize. So one main clause, one subordinate clause. Hardly had he stepped out when it began to rain. That means what? One subordinate clause, one main clause. They wanted to find out his address. Okay, since we had run out of petrol, we could not go further. The cause of his injury was his reckless driving. So here we have divided. Okay, so hope you have enjoyed the classes, and what is my suggestion is you just go through all sort of the rules which we have discussed in part 1 and part 2 videos. If you fail to watch that video, just go and watch the part 1 and part 2 simple compound and complex rules and usage video, and just recollect all those points, and just you come to this book back exercise, so it will be very, very easy and helpful to you. Okay, thank you students. Presented by N. Ramesh Kumar, HOD, Department of English, Sri Vidyabharati Metric Higher Secondary School, Sakrambalayam. Soon I'll catch you in the next video.